Have you ever paused amidst the relentless hum of daily life and truly asked yourself, how free am I really? It's a question that might feel unsettling, even provocative, but in an age of unprecedented connectivity and complex societal structures, it demands our honest introspection. We live in a world where physical chains are largely abolished, yet the whispers of control, the subtle tugs on our autonomy, seem to persist. This isn't about sensationalism, it's about critical examination. We're going to explore whether the pressures of modern existence, economic, technological, cultural, have, perhaps inadvertently, woven a new kind of bondage. A bondage not of whips and shackles, but of debt, digital dependence, and the relentless pursuit of an elusive ideal. Let's embark on this thought-provoking journey together, dissecting the layers of our contemporary reality. To understand any potential modern slavery, we must first acknowledge the brutal reality of traditional slavery. For millennia, human beings were treated as property, their lives, bodies, and labor entirely at the disposal of another. This system was built on absolute dehumanization, enforced through violence and justified by twisted ideologies of racial or social superiority. It stripped individuals of every shred of dignity, agency, and hope. The abolition of chattel slavery in most parts of the world was a monumental step forward for humanity. It enshrined the fundamental right to personal liberty and self-ownership. Yet, even today, the dark stain of modern slavery persists in insidious forms. Human trafficking, forced labor, and debt bondage ensnare millions globally, often hidden in plain sight. These are undeniable atrocities, direct violations of human rights. However, our inquiry delves into a more nuanced, perhaps more unsettling question for those of us living in developed nations. We possess legal freedoms, the right to vote, to speak, to choose our path. But are these freedoms truly absolute, or are they constrained by invisible forces? Could it be that while the physical chains are gone, new, more sophisticated forms of control have emerged, shaping our choices and dictating our lives in ways we rarely perceive? This is where the debate truly begins. Consider the relentless pursuit of financial stability that defines so many lives. From the moment many young adults step into higher education, they are often burdened with student loans, a financial obligation that can stretch for decades. This debt isn't just a number, it's a silent partner in every life decision, influencing career choices, delaying milestones like homeownership or starting a family, and often forcing individuals into jobs they don't love, simply to service the debt. Is this freedom or a gilded cage? Beyond student loans, the rising cost of living, housing, healthcare, food, creates a pervasive sense of economic precarity. For many, the necessity of working isn't a choice for self-fulfillment, but a desperate scramble for survival. The rat race isn't just a metaphor, it's the lived reality of working longer hours, often for stagnant wages, just to keep pace with inflation. The illusion of choice is powerful. You can choose not to work, but the consequence is destitution. Is a choice made under such duress truly free? This constant pressure to earn, to consume, to keep up, can feel like a treadmill from which there is no escape. It fosters a pervasive anxiety, a fear of falling behind, that drives us to prioritize work over well-being, profit over purpose. We are told to follow our dreams, but for many the dream is simply to pay the bills without succumbing to exhaustion. This economic reality forces us to sell our most precious resource, our time, in exchange for the means to exist, raising the uncomfortable question, are we truly free if our fundamental needs are leveraged against our autonomy? Our modern world is inextricably linked to corporations. They provide our food, energy, communication, and healthcare. This dependence, while seemingly convenient, grants immense power to these entities. Their influence extends beyond mere commerce. Through lobbying and strategic partnerships, they shape legislation, influence public discourse, and even dictate the very infrastructure of our lives. When essential services are controlled by a few powerful players, how much genuine choice do individuals truly have? Furthermore, consumer culture relentlessly bombards us with messages of inadequacy, and the promise of happiness through acquisition. We are conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to what we own, that the latest gadget or fashion trend will bring fulfillment. This creates a hedonic treadmill where satisfaction is fleeting, constantly replaced by a new desire. We work harder, spend more, and accumulate things, only to find ourselves still searching for something more. This cycle of desire and consumption isn't accidental. It's meticulously engineered. Advertising, social media influencers, and cultural narratives all conspire to create a perpetual state of wanting. We are encouraged to define ourselves by our purchases, to equate material wealth with success and happiness. This constant striving for more can feel like an invisible leash, pulling us towards endless work and spending, diverting our attention from deeper, more meaningful pursuits. Are we truly free when our desires are so expertly manufactured? Technology, particularly the internet and social media, has become an omnipresent force in our lives. It connects us, informs us, and entertains us. Yet, beneath the surface of convenience lies a sophisticated system designed to capture and monetize our attention. Social media platforms, with their meticulously crafted algorithms, are engineered to be addictive, delivering constant dopamine hits through likes, notifications, and endless scrolling. We become slaves to the screen, constantly checking, refreshing, and engaging. This isn't just about wasted time. It's about the subtle manipulation of our behavior and thought patterns. Algorithms learn our preferences, feeding us content that reinforces our existing beliefs, creating echo chambers that limit exposure to diverse perspectives. Our attention, once a personal resource, has become a commodity, bought and sold in the attention economy. We are the product, our data harvested, our preferences analyzed, all to better target us with advertising and influence our choices. The constant connectivity also brings a pervasive sense of obligation and anxiety. The pressure to be always on, to respond instantly, to maintain a curated online persona can be exhausting. It blurs the lines between work and personal life, making true disconnection increasingly difficult. Our mental well-being is often sacrificed at the altar of digital engagement, leading to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression. If our minds are constantly being pulled and prodded by external digital forces, how much true mental autonomy do we possess? The traditional 9-to-5 workday, often extending far beyond those hours, is a cornerstone of modern life. For many, work consumes the vast majority of their waking hours, leaving little time or energy for personal pursuits, relationships, or self-care. We are, in essence, selling our time, our finite, irreplaceable time, in exchange for a paycheck. This transaction, while necessary for survival, can feel like a profound sacrifice of our most valuable resource. The pressure to be constantly productive, to optimize every moment, permeates our culture. Burnout is rampant. Stress levels are at an all-time high, and the line between professional and personal life has become increasingly blurred. The gig economy, while offering flexibility, often comes at the cost of stability and benefits, pushing individuals into a perpetual hustle. We are encouraged to view ourselves as human capital, our worth measured by our output and efficiency. This relentless focus on work and productivity can lead to a profound sense of alienation. We spend our lives building someone else's dream, contributing to a system that often feels impersonal and unfulfilling. The feeling of being trapped in a cycle of work, commute, and sleep, with little room for genuine self-expression or joy, is a common lament. If our time is not truly our own, if our days are dictated by the demands of employment, how much freedom do we truly experience? Beyond the tangible pressures, there are subtler, yet equally powerful forces at play: psychological and cultural conditioning. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in a complex web of social norms, educational systems, media narratives, and societal expectations. These forces shape our beliefs, values, and perceptions of the world, often without our conscious awareness. We are taught what to value, what to aspire to, and what constitutes success. Education systems, while vital, can sometimes prioritize conformity and standardized testing over critical thinking and individual expression. Media, through news, entertainment, and advertising, constantly reinforces certain narratives and ideologies, subtly influencing our worldview. Social norms dictate acceptable behavior, creating pressure to conform, to fit in, to avoid standing out. This invisible cage of cultural conditioning can limit our ability to think independently, to question the status quo, and to forge truly autonomous paths. The pressure to conform to societal expectations, whether it's the ideal body type, the perfect career path, or the prescribed lifestyle, can be immense. It can lead to self-censorship, a suppression of our true desires and authentic selves, in favor of what is deemed acceptable or desirable by others. This internal pressure, this fear of judgment or exclusion, can be as powerful as any external constraint. If our very thoughts and desires are shaped by external forces, how truly free are our minds? It is crucial, however, to acknowledge the immense progress and undeniable freedoms that distinguish modern life from historical forms of slavery. We have legal rights and protections that were unimaginable in previous eras. The ability to vote, to express dissent within limits, to pursue education, and to choose our own partners and lifestyles are profound liberties that should not be understated. Technology, despite its pitfalls, has also democratized information, allowing unprecedented access to knowledge and diverse perspectives. It has enabled global communication, fostered new forms of community, and provided platforms for self-expression and activism. Economic systems, while imperfect, have lifted billions out of extreme poverty and created opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. Compared to many past generations, individuals in developed nations have more choices regarding career paths, personal expression, and lifestyle. The ability to travel, to access healthcare, and to live free from overt physical coercion are significant achievements. These freedoms are real, and they offer a powerful counter-narrative to the idea of modern bondage. The question then becomes, are these freedoms truly accessible and meaningful for everyone, or are they overshadowed by the subtle pressures we've discussed? So, are we modern-day slaves? The answer is complex, nuanced, and deeply personal. We are certainly not bound by the physical chains and absolute dehumanization of traditional slavery. Yet, to deny the existence of subtler, more insidious forms of control would be to ignore the profound pressures shaping our lives. Economic anxieties, corporate influence, technological dependence, and pervasive cultural conditioning can indeed limit our choices, dictate our time, and even shape our thoughts. If true freedom means genuine autonomy, the ability to make conscious choices aligned with our authentic selves, free from undue external manipulation, then we must critically examine the forces at play. This isn't about despair, it's about empowerment. It's about recognizing the invisible chains so we can begin to loosen them. Here's your call to action. Cultivate critical awareness. Question everything. Challenge assumptions. Understand the mechanisms of debt, advertising, and algorithmic influence. Don't just consume. Analyze. Reclaim your time. Prioritize your well-being over endless productivity. Set boundaries with work and technology. Disconnect regularly to reconnect with yourself and your loved ones. Define your own success. Resist the urge to conform to external definitions of success. Identify what truly brings you joy and fulfillment, and pursue it with intention, even if it defies societal norms. Engage in conscious consumption. Think before you buy. Support businesses that align with your values. Reduce your reliance on material possessions for happiness. Foster digital literacy. Understand how algorithms work. Curate your online environment. Use technology as a tool, not as a master. This conversation is just the beginning. Share your thoughts, challenge these ideas, and engage in respectful debate. By collectively questioning the status quo and striving for greater autonomy, we can begin to forge a path towards a future where true freedom is not just a legal right, but a lived reality for all. Let's break free, not from physical chains, but from the subtle bonds that limit our potential and our peace.